Next thing we're going to look at is going to be the smoke funnel, which smoke funnel, or think of it sort of like a dust devil or a mini tornado type of system. We'll put one together and then you can really build from it and create some different type of effects through it. So let's go ahead and get started by going into this. What we're going to use is just kind of a standard dot texture, which is just a circle gradient. And then we'll also use the smoke, which is going to look like this one. And we'll put those together and make some fun things happen. So let's go ahead and go to our hierarchy and go to create, and inside of it particle system. We'll go ahead and zero out the particle system down to the ground. Alright, let's go ahead and open up the renderer rollout. We'll go ahead and apply the smoke material over to the material option right there. So we'll have our little smoke puffs coming up right through there. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to the top, and actually while we're down here, let's go ahead and change our sort mode. Let's go ahead and do we'll probably do the oldest first, and we'll see how that sorts. And it's really just, again, it's always just a matter of which item you want to see first, last, in the sorting mode through it. Up at the top, duration, you could leave default at 5, it wouldn't really matter. We'll set it to 1 though, just so we always have a nice 0 to 1 type of method for it. The options through here, we're going to go ahead and pre-warm it. That way this isn't going to be something that starts from the ground and gets created and goes up. It's just simply, it's a funnel happening, so the moment you drop it in, it's just going. The start delay then gets grayed out because you're having the pre-warm on. The start lifetime, how long is it going to last? We'll start it with 5 and then we'll see if we need to adjust it or not. The start speed on here, we'll go ahead and set this one to 0. We're going to move the particles on this one. We'll do the velocity over lifetime. We'll have the majority of movement happening through it and then also through the force over lifetime. Alright, so we have the lifetime set to 5. We're going to take our start speed and leave it at 0. We'll take the size. Size can be 1. We might find going up or down a little bit, but 1 will probably be, let's look at it real quick. Yeah, that'll probably be about the right size for it. Alright, when it comes to the start rotation, we can actually do, instead of this, we'll go in here and do the random between two constants. And we'll just say 0 to 360. So we'll have it where it's just going to be a constant rotation when it creates it from the start. When it comes to the color, let's go ahead and click on our color option here. And since it's going to be kind of like a dusty color, let's go ahead and go for a yellowish orange, which would result in kind of a brown. Go somewhere around there. So for me it was a 105, 96, 73, and then we'll just go ahead and go for the full alpha on there. Alright, so we should be having kind of a brown. It's going to look like it's picking up dirt as it goes along with it. Alright, the multipliers for the gravity, velocity, both set to 0. We'll change our simulation space to world, so in case it needs to move around. And then current max velocity, max particles, let's go ahead and set this to about 10,000. We want to make sure we have enough to be able to display in case it gets really big or really long. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to our emissions. And inside the emissions, the rate on this one, we could actually, we'll start at about 10. We can lower it though eventually. We'll lower it pretty small. We'll have something like 4 to 5 going up it. But I'm going to start at 10 and then we'll see if we need to go up or down through there. On the shapes, when it comes to the shapes, we have the cone, and the cone itself, cone's going to be set so that we have, let's see, we'll do the cone type, the angle, let's take it a little bit further out, so we'll go for about a 80 or so. We want to make sure that the spread on it is far enough apart. The radius to start with though, let's actually start it pretty small so it feels like kind of like a funnel. It goes all the way down to the ground. We'll go for about a 0.2, somewhere around there. And that would be the right size. And then we'll emit it from the base. We want it to start here and then go from there and up. The random direction, we'll actually check the random direction. We'll try to use it so that when it goes up, it's going to be randomly kind of going out, but there's still going to be that velocity to keep it in. So let's go ahead and add some velocity over lifetime. Now the velocity over lifetime, we're going to do this a little bit different. What we're actually going to do is a curve, which means all three, x, y, and z, are going to be based on curves. So if we go to our x and we click on this, now we could do the particle curve here, but we really need some more space in order to do it. So I'm going to open the editor, and let's make sure we're looking at this on the side here. Alright, so inside of here, we're going to change our velocity over lifetime local to world. And then for the x, y, and z, we want to actually create that circular pattern so that it feels like it's following, almost like following us flying, going up it. I'm going to start with the x. Let me turn all of those off. We'll look at just the x for the moment. And let's go ahead and just kind of go in a general pattern. We'll go for starting at like a, I'd say like a 0.5 point, almost a 1, and then go back and forth, just up and down pattern. So we'll start here. I'll go for a 0.5, and then remember, you just want to right click on your line and do add key. So we'll add keys. We'll go ahead and add a couple of keys here. I'm just going to add them every couple of, we'll do almost like every grid point going down it here, through here, and then let's go ahead and increase it a little bit. Actually, this, yeah, that ought to work out pretty good. Alright, so we'll just take these up and down. I'm going to start by taking this one to about a, let's see, we'll take this one to about a 0.5, and then we'll drop this one right here down to about a, we'll go to about a 1. And notice we're just going to start creating a zigzag pattern. Our end result, we want to go for about 10 on the distance. So I'm going to go, let me move this one back up here. So again, we'll go 1 up there, and then we'll go for the, where's our 1, right about there. And then we'll go back up. Oh, this one needs to go, sorry about that. This one will go to, let's see, 0.5, and 2, then we'll go for a 4, 5, and 4 here. So we're going to create that zigzag pattern that actually happens with it to make it start feeling like it's going in a circular motion up. Now unfortunately there's not a preset on this one. This would be a nice one to have as a preset down here. You could just click and get a zigzag pattern. And there we go. And then we'll do one more here. Let's go ahead and get the last one on this. And let's take this all the way up to all the way to 10. And then we'll drop the very last point right there. Let's take that last point all the way back down. And we'll take it down to about a 4, 5, somewhere around there. There we go. So we have our initial pattern working out right here. So if you notice, it's going to be a little hard to see because we're currently just on one axis point, but you can kind of tell there's this motion. If I can get this in here just right, there's this motion.